Afternoon, welcome back. It's Monday, so first video going out, and we have a door again, but look at that view. So I'm out topping some pretty steep ground, so this is just going to be a very brief video here because I'm going downhill in a minute. Yeah, we've got the big mower on again. Like I said, this one's not going to be a massive video, so welcome along for the ride. So just hopped out for a quick show of what it's actually like. So you can see how steep that hill is behind me. This is one of the shallower ones. Just come down that and I'm cutting around the bottom. But look at that view. So just here is the dam, the Sulby Dam, and then that's obviously the reservoir going off. But absolutely spectacular. So a fair way down from the road now. The road's about probably half a kilometre up above us, so 3 fields away, just working down. I think this is the lowest patch down. Now there is an old ruin in over there, which I was wondering if I could get close enough to show a difference in the size between the old ruin and the tractor, but I don't think I can. I think it's too steep. So obviously old ruin was made for when people were doing things by hand rather than with a tractor. Now a lot of these lines of reeds that I'm cutting, you can just see one there. These are probably the old field boundaries, which is then being flattened, and then the reeds have grown up on the field boundary, because they're definitely, other than a couple of big patches like this one, they're in lines and ridges and ditches, and that's probably where the old field boundaries were, which is quite interesting. There is a buzzard flying around somewhere. You might be able to hear it in the background every now and again, but probably not over the tractor. But yeah, so there's Sulby Reservoir. So this is the biggest reservoir on the Isle of Man. They do fishing from it. There's no other recreational activities on it. You can't use kayaks or anything on it. And at the moment, it's actually pretty full. If you could just see there's the bell mouth, and the water's just going over it. So it is I think it's at about 105, 110%. No, 105, 106%, I think it is. So a lot higher than you'd expect. Definitely a lot higher than you'd expect for the middle of August. Last year we were in a hosepipe ban at this time, whereas this year we're definitely not. And talking about ruins, there's one just over there. So that's the Fulton, and there's one there, and there's one there, and there's one off that way. So there's loads of them. So these are the old places where everyone used to live up on the hills, back when, you know, this was where you farmed, and you'd have 3 or 4 farms, and then obviously as things got kind of brought in, they got abandoned. That one over there, just the other side of the road here, well, the other side of the valley and then the road, used to have a roof on it when I first moved here, but that's now nearly 20 years since, and it doesn't now, unfortunately. There is a container in behind it, so I don't know if someone's doing something with it. Never been across to that one yet, but I think I'm actually going top in the fields around that, so I probably will do. Maybe not with this tractor, because that might be a bit steeper. So there is access to a tracked tractor up here, but I don't think it's going to be. Oh, you can probably just see, just there is the archway of a window of the ruin that's here. But like I say, it's a bit steep there. So yeah, just thought you might want to look at that. But that's fantastic. Beautifulest place to work, I reckon. Afternoon, checked first there. Tuesday afternoon now, and I've just been down, just thinning out the lettuce. Hang on, that way. This row, this one, that's really hard to do. It's really hard to get where your hand is going in the background. So I've just been thinning them out so they can grow up. This row here is the radish, which we had a few issues with, as you'll remember, and they weren't necessarily planted quite right because we put them in with the special drill. But that being said, yes, that is a bite mark out of it. Absolutely wonderful. So the vast majority of the roots have come like this. So obviously there's no real use in them whatsoever. But every now and again, there's an absolute wonderful one. So, going to get them harvested. I've got someone coming up to pick some stuff up today, so I've just been harvesting some rocket, which is that green lines behind us. I'm also sending them the thinnings of the lettuce, because they might be useful for that, and they've taken some parsnips, which are absolute whoppers. But other than that, it's kind of coming together. We've got a new seed drill, which I will try and show you on a video. It might not be on this one, it might be next week's. I have used it, and I've put lettuce in across there on that side, and a few other bits. My spring onions non-existent, so sorry, just had a piece of radish stuck in my tooth there. I don't really know what's happened to the spring onions. I have never ever in my whole history of attempting to grow things had an issue to grow spring onions, but they haven't grown, so that's going to go back to the drawing board on that. I don't know why. So I have got more spring onion seed which can go in now, because we just got to make sure that we're not going too late for anything. Rocket is doing wonderful. So this is the rocket. There's two big lines. That's the radish, is that one, which is actually a very similar looking foliage on it. Spinach is coming up just over there. Carrots are doing the wonderful, fantastic, growy thing. And here, Brussels sprouts off the second planting are starting to catch up. So they're getting a little bit of height on them. There is mostly 5 rows. A few things have been nibbling on them, but not too bad. Sunflower wise, I think we are on the end of the sunflowers. They still look absolutely wonderful. I'm just standing them and then you can see. So look at them, still absolutely wonderful. There are a few which are still in bloom, but most of them have now gone over a bit, looking a bit tired, which is not too bad. That patch over there is looking all right. That line there is looking all right, but they're really small. So I'm gonna have to change the price on them because they're not worth it. But look at the size of this head. It's like nearly as big as my head. So that is, there we go, there's the seeds. You see them in there? That's not going to be too long, so I'm going to look to see if I can get them to dry, and then I can harvest the seeds. You just need to do some funky things with them. So yeah, that's kind of update for today. I'm in the process of, well, I've milled feed. I'm just bagging up some feed now up on the farm, but I'm just waiting for this person to come who's collecting this load of stuff, and then yeah, we'll get it sorted. So I better not forget that bag, because that'd be upsetting if I forgot the bag that I picked for them. More stuff will be going out this, when's it doing it? I think Wednesday, so that's tomorrow. I think I will be sending some stuff out because I am away at the weekend. So I get on the plane to fly away to the UK on Monday. No, I don't. I get on the plane on Friday to go away. So yeah, I'll hopefully have one more update on the spectacular pumpkins. Look at them. Wow. They're absolutely awesome. Really, really amazingly awesome. Smiles. Yeah, hopefully have a proper walk through them and a look. Oh, them sunflowers down there are in. They're all right. The ones in the bottom, you can see them. So yeah, we'll see you later. On us harvesting and such. Just harvesting some potatoes out. Now, through a little bit of poor planning, lack of the correct machinery and a bit of inexperience, as potatoes ended up in a bit close towards the surface, which has resulted in a few of them going green. Now, we can't sell them, you can't eat them. Ones with a tiny little bit of green like that one, I might use at home because I'll cut the green out of it. But we are getting some absolutely spectacular looking potatoes. You know, these are really nice, good quality, fantastic taste. We do need to be getting them kind of out of the ground now, so
Just getting ready for doing a good bit of harvesting, because we've got there's a Derby Fun Day this weekend. I'm away and I need to try and kind of drop off as many veggies as I can today to the places we go. So yeah, we're just kind of trying to catch up a bit on stuff and tie it in with everything else. It is MGP, so the motorbikes are on. Not that you can hear anything because the road's literally closed 15 minutes since, so the first ones won't have come round. I'll show you the small patch of sunflowers now. So these ones are still actually doing okay. There's other ones down there who have kind of started to go over, but these are still looking quite nice. They're a lot smaller, much smaller heads than the other one. This area at the bottom had sunflowers in last year, so that's sunflowers and sunflowers. Nothing really grew in this top area, so it ended up quite compacted because I was keeping it mown. So we'll see what kind of comes into this area next year. We need to have something in here where we can keep on top of these thistles, because these thistles have gone a bit nuts. And obviously any other potatoes which come up as well, because there will be some which have inadvertently been missed and they will come up next year. So yeah, I'm just kind of getting the harvesting done as much as I can, and I'll show you what we've got once we're finished. That's a nice big pile of compost for fuel for next year. So well, it's not compost, that's horse muck. That'll be mixed in with our compost, and yeah, we'll be spreading that on the various areas. And this afternoon I've got a polytunnel arriving, which is going to be going in at my house, for us to just try and kind of start some bits and pieces going over winter, a couple of winter lettuces and that, so we can hopefully try and keep this the season extended a bit more using the polytunnel. So that's going to be quite interesting. So hopefully that'll be another element to the videos, the management and the putting up of that. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. See you in a bit. Afternoon, just back with a little bit of an update after I've done the harvesting. Look at this fantastic produce here. We've got us first kind of pumpkins coming out, a couple of marrows. Yeah, they're a bit bigger than courgettes. This is a Turk's turban, which kind of went wrong, so thought it would harvest up. Lovely parsnips, they are spectacular. Lettuces, kale, you name it, it's on there. There's even some radishes in there, but stuff's starting to come up. You know, my lettuce patch is looking a lot more empty than it was, but if you remember, these whole rows, these two here are lettuce all the way up, and there is one more row over there which I've just thinned this morning, so that's now ready just to be allowed to grow up to the hearts. Pumpkins are doing spectacular. There are some real big ones in there now. Obviously I've just harvested those ones, and the polytunnel should be arriving soon, I hope. But I'm going to head off and do the delivery and get them up to where they need to be. So we'll see you later. Good morning. It is Thursday and it is actually morning now. For once I've got it right first time. We are just after 10 o'clock in the morning. Up on the top of the hill again, topping, just trying to get these thistles topped off before they set seed. Now some of them have just started setting seed, but there's still quite a few at flower stage, so getting them done because tomorrow morning I'm on the plane across to Gatwick, so obviously by the time this video goes out I should actually be back on the island, having been visited someone and come back. Yeah, they're just trying to get it all done. The next couple of weeks I'm going to be fairly busy with stuff down at the field, I think, and I've also got another job coming up which is just going to take a couple of weeks to do, so I want to get this done, so I don't think I'll be back up here for the next at least 2 weeks really, because other than that I'll be doing stuff down at the farm. Heading quite fast over the ground now. I'm at a grand total of 8.3 mile an hour. Woo! Speedy, speedy. I'm back shortly. Sorry about that. Phone rang. Yeah, so as I said, heading quite fast over the ground, because I'm not cutting anything too thick. There is a patch of reeds in the middle, so I will probably have to slow down over that. But I'm kind of racing the road closures. So the roads close at 12:30. As I said, it's MGP. It's incredibly quiet, to be honest. You know, considering what it's like for TT, I've never known an MGP this quiet.
it is always quieter than TT, but roads close at 12:30 because they had to cancel last night to practice because the cloud came down. When it's down over the mountain, the circuit goes just over the hill behind us here. When the cloud's too low, the helicopter can't fly, so it's not safe. At which point they called off the racing last night, so they're using the contingency today, which is an absolute pain in the butt because then it means I can't go home because I live on the inside of the circuit. I can't be up here because this is on the inside of the circuit. So if I was up here, I'd need to be staying up here. I've got stuff to do down at the farm, and to be honest, my fuel light's going to come on in a minute anyway. I didn't look at that before I left the farm. Slight boo-boo. So yeah, just trying to get it done and back down. Like I say, it's 10:20 now. So got about another hour and 15 minutes before I need to be looking to be heading back down the hill to make sure I'm out and at least across the road. Once I get across the road, I can work my way back. That's not an issue. I just need to not be inside the circuit when the road's shut. So I'll try and get some footage this afternoon where I'm going to be doing some milling and just some stuff around the farm. So yeah, and then we'll get this together and get it posted. So yeah, we'll see you later.
Howdy do. Time to try and get this fixed. So let's pull out the horrible rag. Most of the oil's falling out. Okay, so I'm going to try and put I am going to put the old PTO shaft back in. I'll tell you what, it's just whilst the rest of that's draining out, I've now got to get this undone. That's the oil filler. So I'm going to get I don't think I'm going to do that with a digger gun. So I'm going to try and behave a bit nicer. Do it. Advantage of carrying everything with you all the time is have a big toolbox with hopefully a big adjustable spanner in here. Where is it? There's a small adjustable spanner there. Should be a big one. Okay, scratch that. Doesn't have all the best laid plans and everything. So let's see if one of these fits. Oh, that's handy. Pick the breaker bar up with the camera. Right, one of these might fit. Biggest one. No, it's bigger than the biggest one. Right. There's the other socket set. Big adjustable. Just got a new gas canister as well for trying the burning weeding. That seemed to work fairly well the other day. So, big socket set. This is where I'm going to drop it off the top. What I did was just check there, 24. Okay, that one goes on there. Let's try and get you somewhere you can see. There we go, that's a bit flatter. Well, that was nice and easy. Now, these are all really old because this thing was made in 1960, so try and make sure that that doesn't drop any bits in. There we go. Right, so that's where we're refilling it. So see that on there. That's where the prop shaft's going in. Just let it finish draining that oil out and I'll get the prop shaft. My crop of turnips is doing well, which have self-sown turnips. So back to it. So this is the shaft. Obviously, as I say, it does need a new shaft, but I could do with not paying for one of them at the moment. So I'm going to give this a quick clean down. try and slide it back in there without getting thistled. So let's just try and put you somewhere you can see. So I will be replacing this shaft, just not at the moment. So let's give it a really good clean down. So that now goes back into there. Well, that feels like that's in. There we go. Didn't think it was going to go in that easy. Right. Now, this needs a really good clean. So this is the oil seal, which has a thread on the outside here, which is for that cover. So if you remember, there's like a cover which goes over the shaft to stop you getting stuck in it. Now, the oil seal seems to be in okay condition, so it was not leaking that I knew of until it fell out. I am just going to go grab something to clean them holes out. So. This is because I said that it's always good to carry absolutely everything with you, that I don't actually have everything with me. So I'm just going to give these bolts a quick test fit in there, just to make sure they go in. They're not going to go in very far, are they? They don't feel like the right thread. It's definitely not that.
Evening. So I'm not quite sure what happened there. I did have another part of that video explaining that the bolts don't seem to fit in the holes. Now, we actually took them out of an old Massey, so they should fit, but they don't. So they're UNC. So what I'm thinking is they are UNF is the ones for this one, but I now need to try and find a UNF bolt. So I'm going to head back when I'm back from the trip away and go down to the local mechanic-y place who had the UNC bolts and just see if he knows if there was a difference in them. He does renovate old Massey Ferguson's as well, so hopefully he might have some bolts around, because it just seems incredibly strange that they don't want to go in at all. So yeah, at which point that wasn't fixed. I have just worked out from doing the video, I've just been doing the editing, I've left the oil filler off, so I'm going to go back down and put that back on before it rains on it. But yeah, thank you so much for following, and you know, don't forget to put the like, subscribe and the little bell so you get the notifications when I post things. And you can keep following us on YouTube, Instagram and TikTok as well, trying to keep all three of them up to date, all and including YouTube for so yes, have a great weekend. Hope you've had a great weekend, because it's going out at 5 o'clock on a Sunday. And next week I should hopefully be looking to get the polytunnel up, which is going just over there in my garden, which is where I am now. So yeah, it has arrived. It was there earlier, so hopefully be getting that sorted, and you'll see some digging in the holes, and then we can start getting some things planted in it. So yeah, thank you so much. Take care.